Hello, it's Chaplin 73, and I'm joined today by another great artist, Kieran Curly Whitehead. How you doing, Kieran? How you doing?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, not bad, not bad. It's been a while since we last had a talk. I think the last time I spoke to you, we were still in the pandemic, and you'd
Yeah.
just done a great piece of art for the NHS, which had caused a bit of a stir. So what's been going on since?
Yeah, it's flown on it, what, 3, 4 years. Carried on working, got married, carried on doing artwork, tried getting out to the festivals,
Yeah,
van depending, weather depending, lockdown depending. But yeah, lockdowns are miles away now, isn't it? It's like nearly
it
half a decade ago.
does
Yeah.
seem like a distant memory now, doesn't it?
Uh, Starting off wearing masks and that on the walls, and then all of a sudden they disappeared, and we were all back to normal again. But yeah, did the NHS wall that obviously snowballed into something I wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
Quite appreciative and amazed at how far that went.
Mhm.
Even being turned into a Lego character like, and yeah, um,
Lego
done
character.
that.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, yeah. One at local artist around here, he does like your own, what they call like artist impressions, and he'll do a
Mhm.
book set so that you can use your own like spare pieces to turn it
Yeah,
into
yeah.
new artwork, or you can buy little miniature box sets from him. So he turned the wall into one and made me a little Lego character. So yeah, that were a
Brilliant.
good little venture. Um, done the, yeah. What else have I done? Uh, since
You've been to a
lockdown,
few
I did.
been to a few paint jams.
Yeah, I've done Western Supermare. I did what were it, Burnham on Sea. That were a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're only yeah, it was boiling hot as well. It was good weather. Done Nuneaton, done that a few times. Tamworth, always a returning visitor for Tamworth. Over
Yeah.
at the recreational grounds. Um, yeah, Cheltenham.
I've
Can't
not
believe,
I've
can't
not
forget
managed to
Cheltenham.
get to Tamworth yet. I think I went there. I think I was passing through on the way back from somewhere, and I went there just as a visitor rather than an artist, and saw a few people there painting. But I've not actually painted in Tamworth, but
Well,
it's
it's
definitely on my
15
list.
years. 15 years now. New's been going. It's
Wow.
actually the yeah, I know it's 5 years since they've done the community arts project, which is
Yeah.
where they split it up from the park, and they did it at a few different spots, and they've incorporated the castle, put people's artwork on the castle. That was pretty good with the
Oh,
project.
brilliant.
Yeah. But it gets loads of people involved. And
Hmm.
it's a good little venture, but it's 5 years of that. So there's quite a big event going on this year from what I've had a word with organisers and that. So it's something to look at this year.
Yeah,
So you'll have
yeah.
quite a few things going on.
I'll
Same with
keep my
Cheltenham.
eyes open.
Yeah. I mean, like Cheltenham did, right? Didn't they? They
Yeah.
got the community funding sorted out when the Arts Council couldn't help him. And that was amazing. Everyone, what was it, about 25 grand, weren't it, they put towards it?
Hmm.
Year after he managed to get, well, I think there were 150 of us all at one point in the after party, all lined up having a photo. And you think that's an army, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
from all
yeah.
over the world, all painting at the same weekend. Well, it was a week long, weren't it, this time round, like? But yeah, Cheltenham did a brilliant festival last year. That
Hmm.
was fun to join. Um, yeah, just trying to work out which ones others to get to because it's like it's full like season for the summer, and we do
Yeah,
need like a calendar where
yeah,
everyone can say, right, this weekend, that weekend, so we can plan it out, and then we can all like chip to and make sure that everyone's in attendance. But yeah,
yeah. I do
that's the
find that
downside, isn't it?
some of them do clash with each other, don't they? So you've got a couple of
Yeah,
festivals. You say to people, "Are you going to such and such?" And they go, "No, I'm going to somewhere else that
yeah,
weekend."
they swapped them around all last year, didn't they? So they didn't clash with each other, but they still ended up clashing with each other. I think it was Southend, weren't it? And Plymouth for like Cheltenham, and the one in Birmingham, is it at Digby for Custard Factory? That there were a
Yeah, yeah.
couple. I've been mean. Oh, Leicester as well. I managed to go down and check out Leicester as well at one point.
Hmm.
For what's it called? Paint Leicester. I
Yeah.
think what it's called. Bring the paint.
Bring the paint.
Um, yeah, that's a good city to go and have a look. People don't think about Leicester, but there's some big artworks over there.
Yeah,
I kind of out there, like, wherever you go, like, you always go and have a find, don't you?
yeah,
But I've been tagging along, I should say, with scooter rallies as
yeah.
well. So I got involved with local one at Darwin. So yeah, scooter rallies, same as graffiti festivals, but instead of them painting, they're bringing up the scooters. And again, it's a
yeah,
different market where everyone's taking pride in what they've created and then
hmm
enjoying themselves after as a meet-up. So if I'm not graffitiing, I'm doing security rallies, and if I'm not doing that, I'm working,
yeah,
But married life as well, because I got married just after lockdown ended, like, so yeah, last at COVID brides. So married life takes over, doesn't it? Then you've got your holidays to catch up on. So yeah, and then lo and behold, you're like, right, that's 4 years has gone. What have I done? But looking back, I've done quite a bit. It's just trying to remember step by step. Luckily, we've got pictures, haven't we? Facebook timelines,
yeah,
all that.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. One
I
thing you
mean,
did,
it's
one thing you did do was the art battle in Manchester. Tell me a bit about that.
I was just about to get on with that. So I'd applied for it a while ago, a couple of years ago. I mentioned him and I said, "All right, back on Manchester. I'm only in Lancashire. How'd you get involved as an artist? Like, it looks like a good little thing to see because they didn't tell you much about it because it was one of them secret events." And
Hmm
about 2 years later, around Christmas time, they said, "Your name's up, your number's up. So do you want to come and have a look at this art battle on Manchester?" I was like, "Yeah, go on then. What is it?" There were 10 of us and we were invited to the Science and Industry Museum. It took a little bit of organising, but just as they closed the museum down, we were in the main entrance, which had the first PC and had the lumen bobbins and that, for doing spinning mules and stuff,
Yeah, yeah.
for what's it called, Industrial Revolution, because that's
hmm
cotton industry, which where I'm from, like, so and I love the Science and Industry Museum because it's the place we used to go in summer as kids,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
see all the industries and the planes and stuff. And yeah, well, I was sold. I was like, yeah, tell me when, where, what do I need? Because you can't use spray paint. I was like, oh, all right. He goes, there's 10 of you, two heats, half an hour each, and you've got half an hour on a 32 by 30 board to pull off a piece of artwork, any style you want. It's freestyle. I'm like, right. He goes, but you can't use spray paint. I was like, right, what can I do? So, because I wanted to bring my style in, because I thought, right, well, I'm bringing graffiti indoors. So I got loop markers, and I thought, right, well, if I can't use spray paint, I can use spray paint that's not sprayable. So loop markers, I rang up, well, I messaged Alfresco. I said, look, I'm doing this. I want to bring in a company because everyone's using Poscas, and we all
yeah,
know about Poscas. I said, but we've got belt on and we've got loop. I said, loop, I use a lot of loop because it matches the spray paint.
yeah,
So if you can't spray it, you can loop it. So I said, send us some markers, and I got the full color range, and you had to make your own little because I didn't know you like I don't sell artwork. When people set stalls up and stuff like that. I said,
yeah,
what I can do is show you my history, you know. So I did a little like, information desk about myself and put a couple of old pieces of my graffiti on there, photos and that, and a couple of color diagrams of the Montana and the loop, color charts, spray paint, but they also do markers and these nibs, other than Posca. And
yeah,
yeah, they went down. So I used my loops and I did a two practice runs. I'll give you dues on a bit of paper. I should have done it with a canvas. It's completely different. Paper's
yeah,
smooth, sellotape to a wall. It's a nice smooth surface. When you're on top of a steel like platform, they'd sold the event. So it was a closed off event and they had to sell tickets. And I don't know how much the tickets were, but there were 1,000 attendants. And you got to think you're in this little circle of five of you, like a star, because you've all got your A-frames and your big canvases and your little lights above you and a big like stadium behind you, and these people are walking around you in a circle, so it's bouncing. So you've got to hold everything, like, I just started stabbing at the canvas, I'd measured it out in my head. I didn't want no one to know anything. And they had what's it called? Um Local radio up here, I can't think what it is. Chris Miles used to be on it. There's a lady on there and she come to do like, the guest appearance to do the interview. And she was going around talking about what they're doing and that. And she said, oh, you've got a load of numbers and lines. What's it mean? I said, it'll all be revealed in the end. Like, and I just envisioned what I needed. And I've done it as dots, that I could just line it up, color it
yeah,
in, and do it. And I thought I can do it in 20 minutes. So managed to get it done in half an hour. And I did mess up the can slightly in the middle. But I sprayed a looped paints can on a wall, well, painted a loose paint can on a wall with a gold frame round it, like brickwork, because I thought, right, well, if I can't use my spray paint, I'll paint a spray can. So I did. And they put me down. Well, I had number two on when they'd finished it. So that's second in place. And I don't know, it's like first of each winner, weren't it? We put head to head in the final, and then you voted for the winner of that. But yeah, to be in the top 10, I was amazed
Yeah,
with
yeah,
that, like, you know. But yeah, there's some completely different styles of artwork, you know, like portraits, landscapes, abstracts, like, you know, fighting, going up against people like Bob Ross, you know,
yeah,
in
yeah.
that sort of art world. You know, this lady come up and she paints mountains and she'll show me pictures. And how she painted this mountain, and it were like just brush strokes. There you go, that's it, mountain's done. I was like, wow, that's amazing. But their time served into their skills, like, you know, I've just turned up with a load of markers and tried bringing the graffiti indoors sort of thing. But yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. It was the best event I've ever done, and I was so proud of myself, like for getting up there and doing it. And it's like sticking yourself out there, you know, but also
Yeah.
showing us my world, so an area that don't wouldn't really know it, like, you know, and to say it's not all about just tagging up. You know, you can do something decent with it, even if we've
Yeah.
only got half an hour, you know. But yeah, it was brilliant, and I brought the artwork home. You know, I
It's
thought I have to take it home. That's my prized possession. That's the
yeah,
highest you
yeah,
can get back in such a unique bespoke market. They'd gone up for auction. I said, "Can I take it home, mate?" I said, "Us as graffiti artists, like, you know, and writers, we're painting someone else's wall, we're painting artwork for someone else to have or for someone else's display, you know." I said,
yeah,
so apart from a picture, you can't take it home with you and say, "Oh, I've painted that," like, you know, unless, like you said, like in your background, like you've got one yourself for displaying. So to do that live and then to bring it home and I could say, yeah, that's what I did there, like that year, like, you know, yeah, it's been in my living room all year, so I just changed it around and put it up in the art gallery. So
So
yeah,
it sounds like it was a great experience, and it's nice sometimes to step into a different, sort of out of your comfort zone and see other artists who work in
yeah,
different ways. I did it a few years ago. I did what they have Pasty Day down here, Cornwall, only in
but
Cornwall, but they have Pasty Day, and we did some live painting there. I was asked to paint there, and I just assumed it would all be, sort of like spray can that sort of art,
yeah,
and it wasn't. It so wasn't. There were people painting some really different things there in different mediums, and it was quite nice actually to step into another, a kind of art and see other artists painting live, which was great.
yeah, it was completely different for me because normally you're outside of each other, aren't you? You know, you're all having a
Yeah,
chat, got the fumes against you, and you're all doing the same sort of thing, you know. So you're like in unison. Where this, yeah, we're like a complete battle, you know.
yeah,
We're like a battle of different styles, all crowning to become like, you know, the best of the day. And
yeah,
yeah, but that's how you learn. You know, you got to show yourself out there, ain't you? Otherwise, you get
absolutely,
complacent.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, yeah. Taking yourself out of your comfort zone sometimes really helps,
yeah.
doesn't it?
And I really thought, right, I've got to proper put myself on this, you know, and put the
Yeah,
effort in. 'Cause we just turn up to a wall, it's the same thing we paint all the time, like, but this is like, no, you've got to put thought process into it, you know, and deadlines as well, you know. So
yeah.
yeah, it was a good pressure point. Really enjoyed it.
I
Yeah,
mean, I've started doing spoken word poetry, so
yeah,
performing in front of people doing poetry, and that is, again, it's something a bit different. It takes you kind of out of your comfort zone of just getting paints out and painting a picture. You sort of like, oh, I've got to stand up and say the words that I've written now, and it's kind of, yeah, a bit bearing your soul to the world.
do you not feel that it just blends out though eventually, you know, like it
Yeah,
does when we're painting, because the world just
yeah,
disappears, doesn't it? And then you're in your own little
yeah.
bubble, you know. Yeah,
Yeah, the first time I did it, I was terrified, but then recently, I've I've found my kind of you know level, and I'm quite comfortable there and quite enjoy
yeah,
it. Standing on the stage for a few minutes, just talking rubbish.
yeah. What someone said, stop thinking about it, just get on with it. And then when
Yeah.
you do that, it comes naturally. Yeah. We pressure
Can be
ourselves too much
difficult.
sometimes.
Can be
Yeah.
difficult though, and you've touched on it already. Obviously, you've got you married life, you've got a job, you've got other jobs. You're not a full-time artist. You don't
No.
earn your money from your art. You don't sell art. It's kind of like it can be really difficult. How do you juggle that? How do you juggle?
So I work full time. I've got two jobs in the NHS.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
do Monday to Friday in finance, and then at the weekends I drive the out of hours emergency vehicles,
Hmm.
driving doctor around doing 111 999, palliative care. You know,
Yeah,
yeah. So the people that so it's basically to stop them going to A&E, and
yeah.
it's the doctors that sorted it out originally.
Hmm.
Yeah. In the week it's accounts, so it's invoicing, so it's always fast paced. You know, you want to
Yeah,
get
yeah.
bills paid and invoices processed, and you know, especially with like current situation of the market, You want to do
So
everything you
how
can.
do you find your time for your creativity, and do you find that that's important to find time for?
Yeah, I do, because if you don't find a break away, you don't know, you don't realize 3 months is gone and you've just
Yeah,
literally worked and grinded. So I am an advocate of having holidays,
yeah,
at least 2 holidays. I mean, we take our art season as our holidays because you're going out to find, different towns, seeing different things. It's like if I go to Cheltenham, I'll go and do a week round Stonehenge,
yeah,
and I'll go to different spots. So I'll start off at Tamworth because I know it's a week apart. I'll go around Stonehenge, do my little recce's, and then finish off at Cheltenham and then go home. So yeah, holidays, reset
yeah,
points. That's the best thing. I mean, it's usually a beach all inclusive, but I've been thinking, right, well, it gets boring that when you just sat on the same beach. So city breaks, do a city break, do a beach break, do a city break, do a beach break. So yeah, you got to find that. When I'm always doing something. So yeah, you
yeah.
have to stop. I used to go Morecambe at the caravan, back to
Hmm.
basics. And that's where you
Yeah,
eat. And it used to be every fortnight, but mainly for the dog. So you've got to find a breakaway. And that's what like a lot of people don't realize. You need to take yourself out of it sometimes. Just
yeah,
for yourself and your mental well-being, you know? Yeah, because if you
definitely.
don't, you'll burn yourself out. And a lot of us do.
Yeah, and
Doing
I
a
think, I
full-time
think,
job, doing commissions in the evenings.
yeah, yeah,
It
I
does.
think there's a lot of pressure sometimes that we put on ourselves to create certain things. And, in
Yeah,
this age of social media, you feel like you've got to post something on Instagram every day and you've got to stay relevant, you've got to stay, in the public eye, etc. And I've
yeah.
kind of, over the last year or two, I've kind of just gone, "Ah,
So
well,
I
it's
can't
what
keep
it
up with that
is,
anymore. Yeah, I've got
um,
too much going on, been sitting on social media.
yeah,
I mean, we have got the ability to link them. I know Facebook's linked with Instagram now and
yeah,
what's it called, Threads. But yeah, how many platforms do we have to keep updating with the same video, to get the numbers that are watching us anyway on the other platforms? And then algorithm kicks you out or you get demonetized. I mean, we'd
yeah,
love to have someone following us around every day at week with a camera and doing it all for us, but who's going to watch us ourselves? Because we're
yeah,
all be doing it.
exactly,
Yeah, it's hard
exactly.
that. That's one thing I've never done well in is social media and getting the like, if they found me, brilliant, because I don't advertise. So it's like
Mm,
I'm quite lucky I've got a following in a way,
yeah,
it's but then you see other artists like what's he called? T2 Sugars. He's done absolutely amazing with YouTube since lockdown, and he
yeah,
started up from nothing and he's developed. So there's some people that develop their life to it, but you've got to have that focus to put your life into it. It's either
yeah,
you
yeah,
do that or you have a full-time job and you do it at the weekends when you've got the time free. Finding
yeah.
the balance, isn't it? It's a hard one.
Absolutely. Yeah, it is finding the balance. I just find that if I don't create for a long period of time, do something creative, whether it's write a poem or paint a picture or draw a doodle or whatever, if I don't do that for a long period of time, I start noticing that I haven't done it.
Yeah. Yeah, you're funny with that. It's like I haven't done anything really much this year. I painted a camper van for someone,
Yeah,
because she'd watched one woman on Channel 4 with a Bedford Rascal camper, a Bedford Bambi that were orange. She goes, I want mine teal and I want Baby Jane on it. I was like, right, I hate doing people, but I'll do it. You're a friend of ours, so I have to practice people portraits. I hate doing
yeah,
people, so it's a good practice for me. Like, I know you'll love it. She loved it. I was like, there you go. I did my niece, I put Pudsey on a shirt for what's it called? Children in Need.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
used the Poscas for that. I ended on right, she loves that. So I thought, right, well, I know Poscas are right with garments now, so I'll start doing a couple of shirts or something like, finding something that you can do easy in it. And
yeah,
then I got asked by one at charities around there was a guy that was homeless and he'd had disabilities and he had a dodgy wheelchair. So they said to sort him out an electric wheelchair. Got to the bus station and they'll let him charge it for free. But they said he has to have his name on it, otherwise it will get stolen, which is one of the rules on streets. So I said, to tell you what, I said, let me know when you're free. I'll come down and I'll just put his name on the back of his scooter. I hope he's a Blackburn fan because I'm using blue and white, like. And yeah, I went down there an hour later. I put his name on it. I think it was Chris. And we were absolutely made up with it. Little
yeah,
things like that, taking an hour out your time to make so many people's lives better. I'd rather do something
mhm,
like that than chase for work.
yeah,
It's
yeah. Yeah, I think I've
Something
got to a
better.
point where
Not good.
I just not interested in you know, chasing that anymore. So
No, there's too many. Far too many people doing it now. I mean, like,
yeah,
there's got to be at least half a dozen people turn up to Lancashire. Central Lancashire, there were me and one or two lads that were like local that didn't really come out.
yeah,
Now there's so many on Facebook doing bedroom walls, Fair on them, good on them. There's a market up there. If I could do it, I
yeah,
would. I don't have the time and effort. And they're like, it should be you doing that, girl. It should be you putting that wall up. It's like, yeah, I understand it should be me. There's like they think I own Lancashire because there's nobody else, but let other people have an opportunity.
yeah,
I
yeah,
see it. They've seen me and thought, right, I could have a go at that, and they have, and they've gone and done something. You know,
yeah, yeah,
if they're making money off it, so be it. I can't
yeah,
physically put myself to it. I'll do it when I've got the time, and that's where some people have waited over a year for me to come and paint something for them, like because I
yeah,
know they'll appreciate it, and it's something that they want, and they'll know I'll come and do it when I've got the time. So, yeah, I like not having the stress behind it. You know what I mean? You go
yeah,
and do your normal job, and in the weekends, right, I've got a bit of time for you. I've got a bag full of canvases there that I want to put a big curly on,
hmm,
and do it. I'm waiting for the weather. Another
yeah,
thing as well, weather. It's damp and wet in
yeah.
a minute.
This
Down there,
time of
you've
year
got
is
such
not.
a different climate. We're up
Yeah,
in mountains up here.
this time of
Uh,
year it's never good for graffiti artists anyway, is it?
no,
People
no,
who
it's
use
not.
spray paint outside, it's just not a good combination. I did
Uh,
a piece not so long ago. I did a bit for where I work, and I just spray painted a coal bunker, but the concrete was wet, and it was
yeah,
just like it part of
flakes
it's
off, doesn't it?
peeled
Or it
off
drips.
already, and it
Yeah,
was just like,
yeah.
yeah, it wasn't ideal, wasn't an ideal
Uh,
situation. So yeah, you've got to be aware of that as well, haven't you? So
yeah. I mean, I've got a couple of things to do this year. I'm there's a scooter rally on in Darwin, and it's getting bigger and bigger.
hmm,
And I've keep saying, like, because I've been trying to get it done with the music festival, but the
yeah,
music festival is all like red tape in it, like, so scooter rally, like, we could get a couple of you, we'll get you a couple of boards, and I'm thinking you get like 10 of us up, scooter
yeah,
theme, rally theme, mods and rockers. Alt scooters come up, they can have the photos against the wall. You know what it's like, But then it's that foundation. It's done then. Each year we can just make it a little bit bigger, you know. So
yeah,
I think we've got 16 pubs involved, minibus that goes around for free, you know, campsite, hotel, they're also like helping out. So yeah, I'm gonna get my head down and see who wants to who's got the time free at the end of June.
yeah,
If
yeah,
anyone's listening. Well, got
yeah.
time free at the end of June, come and paint, you know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Nice little weekend.
yeah. It's these little things that start, isn't it? That you
Yeah,
start a little thing, it plants a seed somewhere, and 10 years time, who knows where it'll be? It's
yeah,
kind of like those. A lot of these festivals started as an idea by somebody who just thought, oh, we'll just get a few artists together, and now there's like
exactly
150
what Vic did.
artists going,
Yeah,
Cheltenham and play things like
yeah,
that. It started with just a few artists and ended up quite a big deal. And I'd
yeah.
really love
Way
one in
fast
Cornwall.
goes
I'd
big.
really love somebody to set
Yeah.
one up in Cornwall. I haven't got the time to,
Well,
but
yeah. This is
maybe
why I'm
one
trying to
day.
bleed it into scooter rallies, like, because there's always
Yeah,
scooter rally festivals going on.
yeah, I mean, we have festivals here, and it might be worth me, reaching out to some of the festivals that we have here. We have quite a lot of music related ones, and it's
Yeah, that's
finding
ideal,
out
isn't it? It's
finding
something
out who
else to do.
organises them, and just
Yeah.
saying, can we put 10 boards up and do some spray painting while they're.
Yeah. Well, a couple of boys from Aldens, they get a quick sponsor
Yeah,
out of it.
yeah,
Security Harris fencing, couple of cable ties. We'll
yeah,
paint the lot and then just go and board up a building site with it or something like,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
make it look nice
absolutely.
and yeah. It's what it's for, isn't it?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
and use the board next year.
yeah, yeah. You do see a lot of these like grey boards or white boards around building sites that some kids just been and written, their name on or
Yeah.
something. You just think such a waste that you could
Yeah.
really display a lot
Get a
of art
community
there.
centre involved and just
Yeah,
let the kids go onto it.
yeah, yeah. Let
Yeah. And
people
then pay
just
us
come
to
and
go over
have
it
a
again.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. It's not the end of the world, and if it encourages it in a healthy way rather than in an unhealthy way, then it's kind of it should be encouraged, I feel. I mean, I don't feel that kids have got enough places to have a play with spray paints. I know, you know, there's a cost involved in spray paints. Spray paints
Of course
aren't
there is.
cheap.
Nope.
but
Oh,
also
depending on what shop you go
it's the
to as well, it's double.
opportunity to, yeah, it's the opportunity to actually have somewhere to, actually go and spray paint that you're not
Be
going to get
creative.
arrested or
Yeah,
chased by a copper or whatever. It's
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
know. And if they give them an area to go, it saves them going doing the rest of it. I've
yeah,
learnt that,
yeah,
you know.
yeah. I mean,
It's always
I know at
better.
some of the paint festivals they have had
Oh
issues
yeah,
with,
it's played out. Of course, it's going to do.
yeah,
You get the one or two that goes doing what they want.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, there's one of them sayings that they don't do something on your doorstep.
yeah,
So I come to your towns instead and do my stuff there.
yeah, yeah. So, what are your
But,
plans for the year? Are you headed to any paint festivals? You got any lined up or?
yeah, I'm going to apply for it. Same again, Plymouth, Warwick. What's it called? Not Warwick, Tamworth, Cheltenham. I don't know if
Yeah,
Nuneaton's doing something now, but I know he's doing something with community. So I'm gonna have a word with James because
yeah,
the cricket club down there is pretty good. We've done inside and out of it now. Trying to get mine sorted out if we can. I know there's one going over in Sheffield, so I'll jump on that if possible. Yeah, it's just working out what's available,
yeah,
because in between work, holidays, and rallies, I've got my festivals.
yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to come down Cornwall and Plymouth. I know K9 said there's always a wall down there, you know. Raw Bottom, he said that there's a wall for me to do. Um,
Hmm.
Again, it's time and effort. I've always wanted to go back down, like, to Kenilworth or to, um, where is it? It's near Leicester. It's another thing as well. Knowing your places, you need to know where they are, like, so you can pick them all off in one hit. Because if
Yeah,
you say, all right, yeah, I'm going to do Western and then I'm going to go Cornwall, it's a 4 hour drive from Western to Cornwall, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
and
yeah,
then I'll go and
yeah.
do Southend. Well, that's a 7 hour drive across the other side of the world. I'm at the
I
top of
I
the
find
middle of
that.
nowhere.
I
Yeah,
find that with obviously living in Cornwall, I'm miles away from everything. So, people go, "Oh, there's a paint festival at Weston," and you're like, "Well, yeah, that's quite a long drive to Weston." But
yeah,
then you like there's Portsmouth or Cheltenham or and you're
yeah,
like, "Well, that's even further." Yeah, it's like,
yeah, yeah. I mean, like, for me, it's at least a 300-400 mile round trip,
yeah,
each way
yeah.
for one festival. I mean, they've got Northern
Which
Quarter.
again, if you're not being paid for your art and you're not doing it for the pay and you're not doing it for,
Yeah,
the social media or whatever, you're just doing it for a bit of fun, you've also got to weigh up the pros and cons of, how much it's
which
going
one
to
you're going to
cost
go
you in
to? Yeah,
petrol, overnight
yeah,
digs,
yeah.
your
That's why I've got my
paints,
camper van. Yeah.
yeah,
You've got
yeah,
to weigh up
absolutely.
everything, haven't you? That's why we see it as a seasonal holiday for us. We go
Yeah,
and see our mates, we go and get some decent weather because it's always decent weather down there. That's another thing. Like, as soon as you get past Cheshire, it's like we're in Europe for us. North Pole after Cheshire.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's mad, But I'd love to go up to Scotland, and go and do Glasgow again and Edinburgh,
yeah,
But it's geography. It's an hard thing to muster, you
yeah.
know, because
So
they
that,
do kind of like they're not right. Well, we'll do April, May around like Birmingham. We'll do June, July around like down South Devon, Cornwall. Like August we'll go over to Portsmouth, Southampton, Brighton. September we'll do Southend and Kent. And no, I don't work like that. It's like literally hop skipping from one to the other. Yeah,
yeah,
rack up
yeah,
some miles on that.
it's a bit of a logistical nightmare at times, isn't it? So,
It is, and we're only a small country. God forbid what they're like in America.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah. I'd love
absolutely.
to go over there and paint, but again, market over there is unreal, isn't it? You know,
Yeah, yeah, and they've got some amazing walls over there. So,
tell you what I did like Copenhagen,
yeah,
went to Lawless City. That were good. Yeah, it's like a full village, just like down Brighton or Northern Quarter. Um, Anywhere, Cheltenham, you know what it's like. Like, you get that one
yeah,
little area and it's just colourful. There's
yeah,
just murals everywhere and it's alternative art. Yeah, I'd recommend going there. And the city itself, it's amazing. Same as Prague. That's the thing, getting
yeah.
about, like, Rome this year. Uh, Going Norway as well in a couple of months.
Hmm.
Back to Prague. Yeah,
Nice,
finishing off
ideal.
Europe and then
Yeah,
see what happens. Yeah, you
it's
can't not
it's
go
it's
Europe, can you?
yeah. I mean, there's a lot of art out there, isn't there? And there's a lot of places to go and you know,
Yeah, I mean, like, where Dubrovnik and Dali's festivals seasons on in his gallery with
mhm.
all his work. Like, right, well,
Yeah,
what
yeah,
are the chances of finding that? Like, go to Sistine Chapel, me though, when I go over to, yeah. Go and see Vatican. Go and see alt churches. You know, they're
Yeah.
proper artists.
Hmm.
Sitting on a ceiling, you're like, they painted that 1,000 years ago, and look at it. It looks as fresh as today. What have they put
Yeah.
on it? You
Yeah.
know? You know what our paint's like? How's that red still red?
Yeah.
Should be orange, really,
Absolutely.
shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Should have faded by now.
yeah. It's mad, isn't it, how they've done that? But
Well,
yeah,
hopefully I'll catch up with you at something, at some stage. I did bump into you at Burnham a few years ago, so
yeah,
hopefully catch up with you at something at some stage. But
yeah. I'd like to get back down to Western. We enjoyed it down
yeah,
there. We always enjoy
yeah,
it, you know. So anyone that
yeah.
wants to invite Curly, let me know. I'll come. You
Mhm.
know.
I'm sure Lynn will find a place for you at Weston,
Yeah, always. I've got my
and
van at
with a
park anywhere.
Kit Kat.
Yeah, Kit Kat and a brew.
So good, so good. So I'm going to bid you farewell. I'm going
Yeah,
to shoot in a second because I've got lots and lots to do. So yeah, but thank you so much for taking time out of your day today,
not
and
a problem. It's been nice
we
chatting to you.
finally caught up. I know we've been planning this for over a week, so yeah,
Yeah,
we've finally caught up and had a
working life
chat,
things,
which
isn't
is
it?
great to catch up with you, and it's good to see that you're still painting and still enjoying life and getting out there and doing stuff. So
Yeah. Well, I'll try to,
yeah, yeah,
weather permitting.
yeah. Right.
Right,
Well,
Chaplin.
no worries. If you like what you've heard and seen today, then please hit the subscribe button and subscribe to my channel, where I'll be interviewing lots more artists and creatives over the next few months. Thanks a lot for watching. Cheers.
Thank you.
And cheers,
Bye bye.
Curly.